What up, Search fam? Sharde here. It's Tuesday. Grab your tea. Let's get it going. Hello, my dear ones. Welcome back to the channel. We in this thing, we in the fall weather, we're wearing some sleeves, you know, our hair is wrapped up because it's raggedy up under here. Like, let's be real honest. I feel like some time ago I made a video about gratitude, and it has become sort of a cornerstone of my devotional practice, and I have found it to be so super important to me, sort of changing how I appear in the world. And I feel like I've learned a lot about myself from practicing gratitude, and wanted to, share that with you today. So I began really intentionally practicing gratitude about, I would say 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And I did it because this suffers from anxiety with a side of depression. Them two heifers usually come together. One is not far behind the other in my life. And that coupled with the stress that I was under from grad school really made day-to-day life, feeling any sort of happiness and joy, very difficult, especially given the sort of rigor and trauma that I experienced from pursuing my PhD. And one of the things that happened while I was in my program, probably near the midpoint of that 8-year process, so about 3 to 4 years in, as I was getting towards taking my comprehensive exams, I was afraid of coming out of my program not recognizing myself, looking in the mirror and not knowing who I was, because I was so broken and so divorced from who I am at my essence. Like, that was a serious fear of mine, just simply because of how hard I had to push myself. And the words of my late mentor, my late advisor from seminary, really rang in my head, because she encouraged me to apply to get a PhD. Like, I talked it over with her, and she was like, yeah, you could definitely do it. You have the capacity for it. However, one of the things you need to do is to get a therapist. And she called it a wise person. And as soon as you move, when you get into your program, you move, you get a wise person. The other thing you need is a disciplined devotional practice. And I definitely preach that now for myself. Like, God rest her soul. I listened really hard to that. And so over the years, definitely the last 3 years I can remember, I have been really intentional about having some sort of devotional practice, like being mindful about how you start your day. And I found that in having a disciplined devotional practice of sorts, because I'm not always as disciplined as I could be, it has changed my ability to get through the day. And really, one of the most important aspects of that is my practice of gratitude. I am, for all intents and purposes, Christianish. We'll go with that. Very much like, I still read the Bible. I still pray. When I think about source or spirit, the God terminology does not bother me necessarily. So that's, how I form my devotional practice. I'll do a separate video on what it means, like how you actually create a devotional practice for yourself. Because even if you are not Christian or, spiritual, religious, or whatever you want to call it, you should have a morning practice that helps you to start your day on the right foot and not scrolling on your phone, because that's not the way. Let me tell you, that is not the way. So I practice gratitude in a number of ways, and I have done it in a number of ways. When I started out, I had a gratitude journal. So just a little notebook, and I would write down 5 things a day that I was grateful for. When I first started, that really worked for me because it did make me get into the practice of really thinking through what I was grateful for every day. And I did try my hardest to think of 5 different things every day. And doing that made me more aware of all the things that I had to be grateful for. And so now I still do that. I still write down at least one thing that I'm grateful for in my bullet journal. Like, that's one of my regular bullet journal spreads because I find it to have a lot of utility in my own life. But I also wake up voicing gratitude. My prayer life is centered around, first, the practice of gratitude. And it has changed a few things about me, and there are scientific-y things about gratitude. Like, you can get on the Wizard of Google and Google gratitude benefits. I will leave a couple of articles that I read downstairs in the description box if you want to just click on that, make it a little easy. But here are a few things that I can definitely co-sign that practicing gratitude has done for my own life. One, I do think gratitude has improved my self-esteem. As one who is an overachiever and has been regularly compared themselves to others, I have found that my practice of gratitude has allowed me to bracket that need to compare myself to other people and to sort of be focused on myself and running my own race and making sure that at the end of the day, I am trying to be better than my yesterday self, as opposed to trying to compare myself to another person. Does it happen and work all the time with the anxious brain? No, but it has gotten better. I will say that much. Definitely, I think probably the most apparent thing that I noticed in my practicing gratitude has been an increase in my mental fortitude. So I liken having my devotional practice in general as girding my loins for the day, getting ready for whatever comes next, getting ready for the people, especially when I was substitute teaching and had to be up at 4 in the morning and go and deal with other people's kids. Practicing gratitude pretty much helped me strap in for the day, because I could start with, at least, I woke up this morning, I'm breathing, I can move my body, I have all of or most of my mental faculties. For all intents and purposes, I am clothed in my right mind. And that much, being able to realize that much, it makes me less ruffled when things happen. And I have noticed that when I don't do my devotional practice, when I don't practice my gratitude daily, within a day or two, small things will happen that will totally derail my whole day. And it will derail my whole mood. It will make me spiral into this really bad headspace. But I think practicing gratitude and starting out knowing that there are still little things that you can be thankful for has made it so that when small things happen, small inconveniences or irritations, I can handle them better, and I can brush them off or let them roll off my back a little bit more easily. It doesn't work all the time, because sometimes things happen, and between the day and how my mood is and all the the chemical-y things, it doesn't sometimes that one little thing will be the thing that just, but by and large, when I do practice gratitude regularly, daily, I find that small inconveniences do not bother me as much as they do when I don't. Increase in happiness is another one that I saw in an article, and they said the article also said that, I think it was in Forbes, that long-term practice of gratitude shows a 10% increase in happiness. And I by and large think that is true. I do feel that I am at least more content day to day because I practice gratitude, and, you know, more optimistic in how I view the world around me. Those things for sure. I do feel like I have more joy in my heart from day to day, even though, you know, things are happening, things are hard. I can find a reason to be happy. I can find moments to laugh and to reach out to people and be in connection and not sort of receding into myself or like really becoming a hermit just normally, right? I think this probably is not in articles. Maybe it is. I don't know. But for me, practice of gratitude has made me less materialistic. And I have not been a really materialistic person, but sometimes, you know, we get caught up in one of the things. But I think practicing gratitude and like including, I am thankful for what I have now. I am thankful that, you know, I can go get a boba whenever I want to. I have money to put in my gas tank whenever I need it. You know, I have things to entertain myself. You know, I have a cell phone that does all the things. I have gadgets and gizmos that, you know, allow me to be connected and do the work I need to do. And because of that, it makes me, when I think about things like, oh, I like that thing, I want that thing, it makes me go, I like it, but will it actually add value to my life? Because I think about what I have now. Do the things I have now add value to my life? Will having this thing add more? Will it take away? Will it just become a thing that clutters my life? And I think that because I think about objects too within the paradigm of how what I, you know, might say that I'm grateful for, then I don't look at things outside of what's already in my possession with a serious need to have that thing. Or I can at least be more objective, like, it'd be cute, but maybe I'm not going to get a lot of use out of it. So it just sort of has helped to change my intentionality in terms of acquisitions and being appreciative and looking through what I have already, as opposed to looking to garner something else. And lastly, in the laundry list of, you know, potential benefits of gratitude, I have found for me that long-term practice of gratitude has made me more patient and has improved my decision making, because I feel like my mind has a little bit more clarity because I start my day out and throughout the day find reasons to be grateful. Like, especially if I feel myself sort of on a downslope, if I can remember to trigger myself, I will be like, okay, well, off the top of your head, give me 5 things you're grateful for. And then I'll rattle off just 5 random things, and I'll be like, It gives me a sense of clarity about what is going on. And so I don't necessarily feel clouded in my judgments. And I do think that has been a serious improvement in my quality of life. For me, gratitude and expressing gratitude has so many benefits to my overall quality of life. And I wanted to share that with you to encourage you to, if you have not already, add a practice of gratitude to your daily routine, whether it's your devotional practice, your evening wind down, or in the middle of the day. But find some time, and I would start with something as ambitious as, 5 or so things that you're grateful for, and do it every day for an extended amount of time. So I would say at least 21 days. And one of my professors used to say all the time, it takes 21 days to form a habit, or 21 times consistently to form a habit. And I think this is one of those things that you have to do intentionally to form a habit. And so I would say take 21 days, get you a little notebook, and, write down 5 things that you are grateful for daily for 21 days, and monitor how you feel, monitor the thoughts you have, your disposition, and see if it helps. Because, honestly, you have nothing to lose. If it doesn't help, you stop. But if it does help, you have found another tool to put in your toolkit to help you to cultivate the sort of life you want to have and the mindsets that you want. See what I'm saying? Anyway, I pray that you find joy in what you already have, that you are able to name aloud the blessings and objects in your life that you can be grateful for. That in that it gives you peace and clarity to become more of yourself. I pray you have a wonderful week and that everything goes smoothly. And if it is not smooth, that you find a reason to be grateful so that you can go on for a little bit longer. I love you. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.